Welcome back, my luxurious fleet. We might have our first glimpse of the very first electric vehicle by Toyota and Lexus. It's probably going to be a Lexus though. I'll see you on the other side and let's get into it. Okay, so there's an article up on AutoGuide, which is kind of weird how I found it. Usually I do most of my news searching through my computer, but I did a news search on my phone and it came up with different articles than it did on my computer. So who knows what the Google search algorithm does compared to a computer search and then a phone search. But anyways, it came up on my phone and then I found it again on my computer later on because I knew what I was looking for. So let's just get into it. This article is over at autoguide.com. Never heard of it before this, but they may have some juicy details here. Take this with a huge grain of salt. Nothing is announced, but we know Lexus is working on an all-electric vehicle. But is it going to be the LF1 or is it going to be something else? Who knows? Let's get into it though. Trademark filing could signal fully electric Lexus UX300e. The UX is just now coming out. I did a video on it yesterday on how it's not a good leasing vehicle, at least in my region right now. It's exorbitantly more expensive than even an NX, which is a bigger, better vehicle. So let's just get into this article about the UX, possibly all electric. At the recent LA Auto Show, Toyota told us that its dealers had yet to put pressure on the automaker to give them an EV. Find that hard to believe. And that its customers hadn't expressed great interest in buying one either. That's also a load of shit because we get questions all the time at our dealership from customers. Hey, when's Toyota going to make their electric vehicle? Okay. There's nothing. All right, well, maybe I'll look elsewhere. Like, we have a lot of cross shoppers that look at Teslas and other options there. So there's an interest for it. That's where the market's shifting to. So them kind of saying something like that is a little misleading. So Toyota may be in no rush to bring a battery electric vehicle to the market. I would agree with that. They're not in a rush because they want to do it right and they want to do it reliably. They don't want to send out trash electric vehicles that are disposable. They want reliable vehicles, and that's what Toyota and Lexus are known for. Great vehicles, very dependable, very reliable, low cost of ownership. But while the budget brand seems perfectly content with its growing lineup of hybrids and plug-ins, the luxury-minded folks over at Lexus appear to have greater ambitions. Damn right we do. AutoGuide has a... Okay, wait, is this Auto... Yeah, I'm at AutoGuide right now. All right, AutoGuide has dug up a trademark application filed by Toyota with European Intellectual Property Office for UX300e. The Lexus naming scheme uses the lowercase h to denote hybrid vehicles, so this filing appears to point to the eventual arrival of the fully electric Lexus UX300e crossover. Automakers will sometimes file trademarks in order to prevent another company from using it, but the UX is very specific, which makes us think the Lexus intends to actually use it in a production vehicle. I would say they're not trying to make any smoke and mirrors on this. UX300e seems, if they're filing a patent for it, or a trademark on it, then yes, I don't see them doing it just to reserve the name. The reason being is competing automakers just can't use certain letter combinations or naming schemes. For example, Infiniti sued Audi for using too many Qs in their vehicle lineup, right? Because you have the Q7 and the Q5. There might be more. Is there a Q3? Probably. I don't know. I'm not a big Audi guy. But as you know, Infiniti has a ton of Q vehicles. They have the QX80, the QX60, the QX50, the QX, etc. There's just a ton. I think there's a QX30. So there's a lot. There's a lot. So you cannot use. No one would be able to use UX for their vehicle. It just wouldn't happen. Lexus has that trademark, and if someone wanted to use it, they would be sued and they wouldn't be able to use it. So them filing a trademark for UX300e is pretty telling in my opinion. Let's move on. The Lexus LF1 Limitless concept, which was shown from last year's North American International Auto Show in Detroit, was a small crossover that Lexus said could have a hybrid, plug-in, or even an all-electric powertrain. Perhaps the LF1 was Lexus' way of telling us that the UX-based electric crossover was coming down the pipe. Maybe. It's a stretch, but maybe. It's hard to say if the electric Lexus 300e will ever see the light of day, but a battery electric vehicle from Toyota's luxury brand is inevitable. Yes, I just talked about that. Toyota may not be able to get its budget-minded customers into EVs just yet, but it can possibly upsell wealthier Lexus buyers into a pricey electric powertrain rather easily. Let's hold on a second on this. So Toyota may not be able to get its budget-minded customers into EVs just yet. Well, yes and no. So if the very first Lexus or the very first Toyota Lexus all-electric vehicle in EV is going to be a Lexus, and if it's going to be a UX, then the UX is the very lowest tier of Lexus. It is the entry point, and there are many Toyotas that are priced higher than that UX. So the UX is kind of a stopgap between, high-end Toyotas and low-end Lexus vehicles. So if they have a small compact crossover SUV that's all electric, Toyota buyers would very, very, very be interested in such a vehicle. And I think they might do that because it also sets a precedent with those original buyers. If they're going from Toyota and they buy the Lexus, they'll want to keep buying Lexus, or at least that's the thinking. So they want to keep them as luxury buyers in the future. So if they come out with, let's say, a small crossover, the UX, all electric, then down the road, they're going to have more options, right? A couple of years later, they'll be able to move it into an RX. Who knows what they'll call RX 500e? Who knows what it'll be at that point? They'll obviously have the LF1 Limitless, which will probably be like a Tesla competitor in terms of performance. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how this all shakes out later on down the road. I mean, not just for Lexus, but for Toyota, all the other automakers and the entire auto industry, how electric vehicles are going to shape our auto industry and our world. But let's just keep moving. Let's finish up this article because there's one last thing I want to get into here. With the new year approaching fast, you may even see the Lexus UX300e turn up sometime in the next year. It's possible. It's very possible. Don't expect it to show up in North America, though. I may disagree with that. We'd say a debut at the 2019 Geneva International Motor Show or the Frankfurt Motor Show is plausible. So before I get into when those shows are, I don't expect them to only keep this vehicle in Europe. Even though the patent is, or the trademark is being scheduled for Europe or claimed in Europe, there's no way they're keeping it just in Europe. That would be the most stupid thing they could do. The biggest market for electric vehicles, well, obviously Europe's a big one, but you cannot forego such a landmark vehicle into the original market Lexus was designed around. That was a US luxury auto market. They cannot be so foolish to skip out on that market, because that is what Lexus was originally designed for, was for America. If they have the very first electric luxury Lexus vehicle. They're not going to keep it just to Europe. There's no way. If they did, they're absolute fools. So let's get on to when these auto shows are. Geneva International Auto Show, where anything can be debuted, right? March 7th, okay, through Sunday, March 13th, which is an exciting time for me because my third baby girl is going to be born around that time. So pretty exciting. And maybe Lexus will also, debut an all-electric vehicle. Pretty exciting either way. Okay, later in the year, this is International Motor Show in Germany. We have September 12th through September 22nd, where we could have an unveil as well. We look at this. This is possibly the soonest we could get a reveal of an all-electric vehicle. And there's, well, obviously one, because it's the closest big auto show in terms of time. This is just a month away. Today's the 18th. This auto show is less than a month away. Simple as that. Which is also an exciting time for me because my birthday is in January. So what makes me think that it could be in January? Well, back when I covered the RCF track edition, the 2020, that article I posted, last week or something. Here's an article from Automobile. I'll put this in the description. The last thing in this article, Carter is a executive vice president for sales at Toyota Motor North America. So Robert Carter, at the end of this article, he hints that there is one more surprise for the Detroit Auto Show in addition to the RCF track edition. We're not really sure what it could be at this point, but we have a better idea closer to the track edition's reveal on January 14th. Could it be the UX300e? I don't know. I don't think they would unveil it this soon. I think what they would unveil is the LF1. Why would they not unveil the UX300e? Well, I think because it would cannibalize their current sales of the vehicle. The UX200 and the UX250h, they expect to sell quite a few vehicles. I just covered that video on the leasing. They expect to sell over 17,000 in the United States in the first year. It's a tall order. It can be done with the 200 and the 250. If they have the 300, it'll definitely be done if they can meet volume needs. However, I think that would kind of kill the sales. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it would draw more interest to the UX in general. Having an all-electric. Hey, we have an electric, we have a hybrid, and we have a gas version. You pick which one you want based off of the price and the powertrain. Who knows? I'm just really, really excited. I wanted to make this video for you guys today. Sorry it's ran on to about 15 minutes at this point. But let me know what you guys think. Is Lexus going to unveil this UX this year, this UX electric? And when are they going to do it this year? If so, and what do you think is going to be unveiled at this auto show in the North America, the Detroit Auto Show here in less than a month? Is it going to be the LF1 Limitless unveiling? Could it be we know the RCF is going to be unveiled. It could be the the LCF, the twin turbo LC, kind of like a super sport edition. I don't know. It's really, really exciting. It's a great time to be covering the auto industry because it's in a tipping point. We're going from, we're in the age of turbocharged motors, and we're going from the age of automatic transmissions to CVTs, and that's about ready to fall flat on its face potentially based off of the progression of the electric vehicle market and that technology altogether. So I'll see you guys in the comments below. Until next time, peace out.